Is that better? Can you guys oh my god. Can you hear me? Please tell me you guys can hear me. We have footage, but choppy. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. Oh, can hear and see. All right, guys. Oh, man, this is painful. I'm very technologically inept and I'm going off my laptop. Can hear you, but super laggy and glitchy. Ah, bugger. Guys, I really do apologize for this. I thought I had everything set up accordingly. Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm in a bit of a predicament whether I continue because if it's laggy, I don't want it to be, painful for you guys. So I'm just at the moment going through some settings. Just bear with me, guys. Again, I this is one of those things where I need to do this just so I know what to expect next time. If we go to frame rate. Looks fine on my end. Okay. Jeez. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I've been wanting to go live for so long and start doing live shows. Like, you get your third party softwares, and also originally I had Melon. I was originally using Melon for the first stream that had no sound, so I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board for that. No lag now. It's good now. It's good now. Okay, all right. Oh, Jesus, thank fuck. Oh, this is crazy. Yeah. So look, I'm very technically inept when it comes to streaming. I know FlickPick uses Streamlabs, and I was looking at Streamlabs, but Streamlabs is like, that's like if you're really, your ins and outs of streaming. I was going to do StreamYards, I think it was. I got put on to StreamYards through Frank and Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb podcast, but then Darren recommended Melon. So I set up Melon. I had everything ready to go. As you saw right there, I scheduled it. As soon as I hit live, it was just lagging because obviously it's got to go through Melon into YouTube. But the added advantage, I guess, with Melon and all these third-party streaming platforms and softwares is, you can customize everything. And I was so excited. You guys saw, I think most of you saw a pixelated like Cosplay Chris Live logo. So, Lux Media, yeah, give OBS a go. So I do have OBS. Keep in mind, I'm running on a laptop. And even at the moment, my laptop, the fan is just like struggling. So, look, if this becomes more of a full-time thing, I definitely need to upgrade my gear. But as long as you guys can see and hear, that is all that matters. So, and yes, I deleted the original stream. It went for a couple of minutes, and I'm like, I don't want that up. So, hopefully, this will suffice for now. So, anyway, take two. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? All right. So welcome to the first episode of Cosplay Chris Live. Hopefully not the last episode. Let's call this the beta version. Let's call this the 0.5 work in progress. So I've been wanting to do live shows for a very long time. What we're going to be doing today is a movie review of Prey and Nope, and also talk about the Batgirl cancellation, the really kind of sad and I don't want to say tragic because everyone got paid, but also it's unfortunate set of circumstances, especially what's going on at the moment at Warner Brothers. Like I don't know if you guys have seen the stuff that's come out about Ezra Miller today, and it's just one shit show after another. So my heart really does go out to everyone at Warner Brothers. They would be in damage control now. But anyway, I've got the chat there. So guys, we will do a Q&A at the end. So I'm going to try my best to answer as many questions as I can. But before we get to the movie reviews, Batgirl, Q&A, I got some cosplay updates for you guys. So there's a few things going on here. Firstly, this is the updated Phantom cow. This is the size smaller cow. The new 3D print arrived. like the original cowl was great. I've got it in there in storage somewhere. But yeah, my hairline was showing. I had to shave this part of my hairline, and the crown was up way too high, and it just overall was just way too big. So I got another one 3D printed, scaled down, and Art Debbing was cool enough to lower the crown. And here it is, all cast up, all painted, all weathered, ready to go. So yeah, that is going to be a video in itself with the full suit up of the Phantom costume. The eye mask for it is just chilling up there on my cupboard. So that's all ready to go. It was actually quite hard this time to match the color of that cowl to the suit as opposed to the first cowl. But anyway, we got there in the end. So that's going to be a whole thing when the video is ready to go. So next up, finally, after I've been doing this for 8 years, it's just crazy. Frank Reich is here. Frank, my man. So good to see you, man. All right, so next up, the Cosplay Chris avatar cosplay. I've been doing 8 years, and everyone said you got to cosplay as your logo. So finally, I'm doing it. You guys have probably seen this on my Instagram. I did a video of casting this up, the chest emblem, again done by Art Debbing. So made a urethane, and it's kind of contoured like a muscular chest. So the trick is when you pull it out of the mold, while the urethane is still setting, you rest it on a muscular chest piece like a mannequin or a casting. And then as you can see, it kind of keeps the shape. But once it's glued down to like a bodysuit, it contours really nice. So I was really happy about it turned out. This isn't paint at all. This is all pigment powders pre-brushed into the mold. Does get pretty tricky, especially when you're trying to keep everything nice and clean and separate the golds and the blues. But yeah, flexible urethane. Pretty happy with how that turned out. Next up, Samurai Spawn. So, okay. Hadn't done a Samurai Spawn update in a while. My intention with Samurai Spawn was to always do it when I felt like it, when I had a bit of free time, because I've just been flat chat lately. Finally, I got some time to get back to it. So here is one of the helmets at the moment. So this is the shrouded one, and then I've got an unshrouded one with all the tusks. So you guys have seen that one before. So that's just chilling there. The bodysuit arrived. Now, Ryan Jenkins of Frontier Costuming has done the bodysuit. Where does it begin and where does it end? Okay. So that's the base bodysuit, but for the most part, it's going to be covered up with a lot of armor. And it's I will be wearing a muscle suit because Spawn is very jacked. So yeah, I see I've got some super chats coming, guys. Thank you so much. I will definitely be getting to them priority when we do the Q&A. So please make sure to stick around. This is a lot of fun. We're going for 10 minutes and 28 seconds. Shit, time goes quick. Okay, and I've got my little list here of things to get to. So cosplay updates. We've done the Phantom. We've done Samurai Spawn. Eddie Munson coming along nicely. I'm waiting on a lot of badges. So I ordered quite a lot of badges off Etsy. I'm waiting for them to arrive in the mail. I've still got to get my wig. There are some really good wigs out there, some really good replica wigs that are solely for Eddie Munson that some wig makers are doing. So that was pretty cool. And contact lenses. What else? Just little bits and bobs at this stage. So, the most part, the bulk of it is done. This is a placeholder shirt. This is a shirt I got off some random website, and the material is, like sports shirts where it's like synthetic and just gross. Whereas this is a nice cotton shirt from AliExpress, of all places. AliExpress. Tomato. But yeah, this is like proper cotton. This is a lot more comfy. So yeah, really happy everything's turned out. I managed to get the leather jacket at an op shop for, I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks. Because like I said in my initial video of, cosplay sourcing for Eddie, the original jacket he wears goes for like at least 800 USD. So you got to be smart about it. Sometimes it's great to get the same make and model piece if you can justify it. If not, just go the cheap route. The Batman. So I have a brand new flight suit, updated flight suit from Napier's Incorporated. So I still will be repurposing some of Chris Robinson GC5's armor, but for the most part, the torso will be repurposed for a bust. But I am keeping the shoulder, bicep armor, the gauntlets. I'm not actually doing the Pattinson cowl. What I'm going to be doing is using the Hernandez effects cowl. I just feel it looks better on me. I don't think I have the proper jaw for a Pattinson cowl. Like, you look at Rob's jaw, it is like you could like cut granite on that thing. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's the Batman life-size Freddy. So the video for this will probably be up tomorrow, if not Sunday, my time. So Sunday here will be Saturday afternoon, States for the most part. I'm having a lot of fun building this guy. For the most part, he is done, except the hands. So the hands are going to be a whole separate thing. So guys, to everyone that's chiming in, welcome. Just thank you for bearing with me. As a lot of people witnessed about 20 minutes ago, it went completely bad. So hopefully this will suffice for now. I've got a lot to work out, but a big thank you to Darren as well, the Slaughtered Lamb podcast for helping out. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of updates. Now, I do have a shout out for a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Justin Stoddard, who did this incredible piece of fan art of me as the Batman. So he sent me one, which I will be keeping, and I'm sending this one back to him that I have signed. So guys who are sending in super chats, thank you so much. I will be getting to them at the Q&A at the end of the video. So for those who are just joining, we're going to be doing a review of Prey. Nope. Talk about the Batgirl cancellation and then get to a Q&A. So I really love doing off-the-cuff live shows, and I'm really taking a page out of the Flick Picks book because it just looks like he's having a ball doing it. And also, oh my God, look at all these bots. Go away. For fuck's sake. Send in the drones. Can I get a shout out on my birthday, August 11th, from Bridgeport, Connecticut? Jeffrey Lane, happy birthday, sir. Yeah, happy birthday, man. From all the way from Connecticut. That's awesome, man. It's like people from all parts of the world. This is awesome. Yeah, so that's basically how it's going to go. I want to do more of these live shows. I'd love to do them on a weekly basis, especially when it comes to a lot of stuff I have to talk about. A lot of people come to my channel just for cosplay and building stuff, but I love talking about movies. I love talking about horror films, as you can see, right? Hang on a minute. This is my mum. Hello.
Hello, darling.
You're live.
I'm live. Yes, I am alive. I'm talking to you.
No, you're live on my stream right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got it. I got it working.
Oh no! I better go and put some lipstick on.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I'm streaming directly through YouTube now. I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board after this and figure it all out. But yeah, you're live right now. Everyone's here, so we're having a good time.
Oh gosh, I'll put some lippy on and I'll be right back.
Can you say hi to everyone? Everyone's saying hi to you.
Oh, hi everyone. How you going? Hello.
All right, Mum will join the chat shortly. Go.
It's me, his mother. He came out of my vagina.
Hey! I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Oh man. Okay. That was my mother. So yeah, Mum's going to join in on the chat. I'm just glad it's finally working. So anyway, as I was saying, yeah, definitely taking a page out of the Flick Picks book. It just looks like a lot of fun, and I'm very at my best when I'm kind of off the cuff, impromptu kind of thing, especially when it comes to talking about films and stuff like that, because I'll do so many movie reviews, pre-recorded, edit it, upload it, and I'll watch it and be like, shit, I forgot to say X, Y, and Z, or I forgot to add this and that. But with this as well, this way, I get to interact with you guys, and it just seems more personal, and it just seems like we're all kind of here just chilling, which is great. So anyway, look, everyone seems to be having a good time. I don't need to really say it, like, just be respectful to others in the chat. That's all I ask. We're here for a good time, not a long time, guys, and that's what it's all about. So without further ado, welcome to the first episode of Cosplay Chris Live. It's been a shit show so far, but I'm having fun. So anyway, On to Prey. We're going to review Prey first. So I got to see an advanced screening of this here in Sydney at Fox Studios. They actually had it in a cinema, which is interesting because it's streaming right now on Hulu and also Disney Plus. So I really think they missed the mark not putting this out in theaters. There was no setup, no nothing, no media wall or anything. You literally just went straight into the cinema to watch it. So this is a prequel. I have not seen the 2018 Predator film. Predators, The Predator. Look, I honestly can't keep up. To me, the first Predator will always be the best. I have a soft spot for Predator 2 because I love LA. There's just something fun and awesome about LA, and to put the Predator in that environment, I think is great. You know, the Predator's in a different type of jungle. The Predator's in a concrete jungle. Oh, sorry. Also, someone just said, Eyes One, spoiler review. So I will be touching on spoilers, guys. I feel like it's been out long enough. It's been streaming long enough. I'm not going to go into heavy spoiler territory. And the same applies for Nope. You know, Nope has been out a lot longer. I think it's been out in the States a week and a bit now. But we got it this week. So yeah, I will be touching on spoilers. So look, if it's not your thing, I totally understand. But I will be touching on spoilers just a little bit. So it's set in the 1700s. It revolves around a Comanche tribe. And I've got my notes here on my phone because that's just what I do. So we have the lead actress who plays Naru, played by Amber Midthunder, which is an incredibly badass last name. And she's a tracker, and it just, that typical kind of storyline where you're trying to prove yourself, trying to be the best at what you're doing, and has fierce competition with her brother. And she senses that there's something out there. And essentially the whole film revolves around her going up against the Predator. In this case, I think it's called the Feral Predator. So right off the bat, first impressions, I fucking loved this film. I thought it was a breath of fresh air compared to what we've seen in the Predator franchise. In terms of whether Alien or Predator, I love Predator. Alien's cool, but I adore the Predator. I still remember when Dad showed me the first Predator when I was a little kid, and that Gatling gun scene where they're just firing into the jungle. I loved it, and it was simple. And this is what this film is. It's simple. It's going back to its roots, but also not overcomplicating things. And I think when you remove the Predator from Earth or from the jungle, and then when you put it on his homeworld and you go to the Predator's homeworld, vice versa, it just takes away from the threat. But in this case, you've got everything that's just so simple. And I love in the film, you just see the Predator dropped off, no explanation, and that's it. And then you see, it cuts back to him, and then he's going up against animals and stuff like that. And there is an abundance of CGI animals in this film. And I get it, there's a budgetary restriction and stuff like that. And you can kind of see it. Some CGI animals don't look as good as others. You can see where they really threw the budget into that scene or that look, etc. I thought the bear scene was badass. The fact that, going into spoiler territory, when the Predator lifts the bear above him and he's just drenched with blood, and he's obviously got his invisibility shield on, and you just see the blood drizzling all over him. I'm like, that is beautiful imagery. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really do think they missed the mark by not releasing it in theaters. My gripes about the film, and this is, look, I have nothing but respect for people who work in the effects industry, practical effects, creature effects, and stuff like that. Studio ADI did the Predator suit this time around, the Feral Predator. Something just seemed off about the face. I don't know if you guys feel the same. I just feel like the eyes were too sunken back into the skull. There's something so captivating about the original Stan Winston Predator from the original film. And those eyes, those beady, glaring eyes that are front and center, whereas this one, they seem on the side and very back. Again, like there's so many avenues that you have to go through to get the final creature design. You know, people sign off on a lot of designs, and it's totally subjective. You know, people are going to love it, hate it, or just be, yeah. I really do love it. These are just little nitpicks and gripes. And I feel that just the face could have been improved upon a little bit better. Just the design aspect, the creature suit effects, like the execution of it was brilliant. I thought it looked great. And Studio 80, I definitely should be commended to that, because they've done a few Predators. They did the previous Predator film that Shane Black directed. They did AVPs as well, which is brilliant. And it's no easy feat. Like, creating any creature suit is hard, and it takes a village of people to do it. And the hands. There was one shot where the Predator is grabbing something. I forget what he was doing. I don't know whether he was fixing himself or getting an accessory out. But the fingers just didn't look natural. Like, there was a lot of mass there. Like, there was a lot of foam going on there. Just looked very sausagey, if that makes sense. Regardless, I really, overall, I dug it. I like the smaller mandibles rather than the larger ones in Predators. Okay, see, there you go. Yeah, from Frank Riker. Yeah. So definitely, you know, completely subjective. I do like those mandibles, actually, Frank. I totally agree with you. There was just something about the eyes. I felt like I lost a bit of the personality with the lack of eyes, if that makes sense. Again, I just feel like they're very back in the skull. But for the most part, it still worked for me. It was an interesting design. I'm glad they did something different. Would it have been cool to have seen the original Predator design? 100%, for sure. But again, like, you got to keep things fresh, keep changing things up. And this is, you know, a different Predator from a different family. And again, I love the fact that you just see him get dropped off and that's it. No explanation needed. Ship goes off into the sky and he's down in his playground. And then you see, you know, the skin snake and whatnot. And I also think there was just, there was something just so simple about everything. The execution, the cinematography is beautiful. This is a stunning looking film. And the climax of the film, I wouldn't say it was underwhelming, but Naru definitely goes full Kevin McAllister on the Predator, because that's her jungle. That's her playground. The Predator is essentially, you know, a newbie in this jungle. But yeah, look, I definitely do feel that the climax was pretty well done. It was simple, but it was well done. And this is a short film too. This comes in at like an hour 40, which I was saying to my mate who I took to the screening, my mate Luke, it was so refreshing to not have to sit there for 2.5 hours, nearly 3 hours, because that's just the norm these days with superhero films and whatnot. It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 2 hours 45, an hour 40. Beautiful. That was chef's kiss. Much like the Black Phone. The Black Phone was like just over an hour and a half, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for something like that, like most horror movies go for about 90 minutes, you know, hour and a half, hour 45. That is just brilliant. And everything just flowed with Prey. There wasn't like a slow burn. It teases the Predator, and, you know, you'll have scenes with the Comanches, and then it'll go back to the Predator who's kind of practicing and going up against wildlife and stuff like that. Now, there is a version out there in Comanche. It's not the actors speaking Comanche, but it's dubbed, which I like that. You know, it's being respectful. So I would actually like to check out the Comanche version. I don't mind subtitles, but I get where they're coming from with the mass market to have it in English. I don't really think that they'd have those types of accents, but correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So look, overall, I thought Prey was great. It was a breath of fresh air. It was just criminal that they didn't put it in the cinemas. I really think it would have done well. I get it, though, because some people, there's no Predator in the title. You know, they couldn't exactly call it Prey, a Predator film, or Predator Presents Prey. It's just, that's the way it is. But I get it. It's kind of its own thing, but also at the same time, you know, you can watch this and then go watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. So I thought it was great. So I would definitely like to see more of this type of stuff. The guy that directed it directed 10 Cloverfield Lane. So you got the guy that, you know, who understands the sci-fi genre, the sci-fi horror genre. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with it. And I'm just seeing some comments here, guys, you know, great. You know, especially like little nitpicks and stuff like that, and little Easter eggs too. I think I do have to definitely go back and watch it a second time because there's things that I didn't properly pick up on. I did notice the flintlock that was used in the second Predator, which is pretty cool. Funny enough, that flintlock is the same make and model one I have for Pirate Batman, and I didn't even realize it till it was brought to my attention. So, as for Eat, Love, Pray, yes, they should have called it that, with an introduction by Julia Roberts. The Gun of 1715. Yes. So yeah, Prey was amazing. Just little nitpicks just about the design of the Predator, but the execution of the creature suit overall was fucking fantastic. Again, it's no easy feat building creature suits. So I was fortunate enough to be at Studio ADI back in 2017 when I did 3 days work there, and they had the suits for the Shane Black Predator that they were prepping there for the stuntman. They were airbrushing all the beautiful details on it, and it was just amazing to see them up close. So you just got to appreciate the amount of effort that goes into it. So bravo to everyone involved on Prey. I definitely need to check it out again, but I want to see more of stuff like, keeping it simple, taking it back to basics. Anyway, moving on to Nope. So we had the Australian premiere of Nope on Tuesday night here in Sydney. I know the film's been out for a week and a bit in the States, I believe. I went into this completely blind, like just completely not watching trailers unless it was something on the TV. And again, the trailers didn't really give much away. The ads on TV didn't really give anything away. And I loved that. It was just the actors saying, nope, nope. And everyone's kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? So I have my notes here as well. And, we obviously have Jordan Peele, who made Get Out, Us, and now Nope. I really dug Us a little bit more than Get Out. I know some people have their gripes with Us, but I really thought it was great. I thought it was quite genius. It was different. It was refreshing. And then we have Nope. So this is, in the words of Rainier Wolfcastle, it's a mixture of action and comedy. So it's sci-fi and horror, and it's I had a damn good time with it. I had a very damn good time with it. Now we've got Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, Brandon Pereira, and Michael Wincott. I hope I pronounced those names correctly. And it revolves around a brother-sister pair who own a horse ranch, and they use those horses for Hollywood productions and stuff like that. And the film is also a great love letter to working in Hollywood. It can be very cutthroat. It can be hard. And we also have a brief cameo by Keith David, the Silver Tongue himself. I could listen to that guy along with Morgan Freeman read the fucking phone book. Read my menu at a restaurant. Just be brilliant. I want those two to narrate my life. And strange activities are going on whilst they're on their property on a farm, and they have horses, and strange things are going on in the sky, and some very sci-fi things are going on. Again, guys, I'm going to be going into spoilers. Not heavy spoilers, but I'm going to have to go into spoiler territory with this one, so I hope you appreciate that. If not, I totally understand. And I was thoroughly impressed with what I saw on film because it was something so different. I thought it was going to go one way, it went the other in terms of the horror elements, but then also the sci-fi elements, and just balancing those two. It is a slow burn, definitely. It was a little bit slow, probably the first and second act, but by the third act, when they're essentially going up against whatever is causing all this mayhem, it really gets going after that. And the scene with Gordy the chimp. I'm still, look, guys, please let me know in the chat. I'm still trying to figure out what the correlation is with Gordy, the whole incident with Gordy and the young man who survived that attack, who now has the ranch. And then you have the girl who was attacked by Gordy, who is still there at the ranch. So I'm trying to figure out what the correlation was with that. I'm sure, guys, you'll let me know, and I'll be like, of course. But nonetheless, that was very interesting to see, and it was kind of intense to watch. It's very tasteful the way they did it with the scene, with when Gordy attacks everyone. They're filming a sitcom and this chimp just freaks out. Because there was an instance a few years ago where that did happen. Someone had a pet chimp and it just went absolutely ballistic and just mauled someone, just tore shreds off them. And it's horrifying because animals can flick just like that. So it has happened before. And I think that's why I was like unsettled watching it. So I thought it would be about animals being unpredictable and wild. Yeah, okay. So I'm just reading some of your comments here. First trailer came out. Yep. Maybe it was to help some viewers understand animals. 100%. That's it. It's like, you can't tame every animal. Some animals will always just have that predatorial instinct embedded in them. Like you can try your best to tame those. Look, my dog's an English Cocker Spaniel. He's fine. But like a husky or a Malamute, chimps, gorillas, silverback gorillas, you're not going to teach that thing to sit properly and not have any repercussions. It's just the nature of nature, essentially. So, yeah, I definitely dug that scene. I had butterflies in my stomach. So I remember John Flickinger, the Flick Pick, talking about it in his review. And even he was like, yeah, man, that was like fucked up. And I'm like, oh, man. Like, so I knew the scene was coming. And as we saw flashes of it at the beginning, but then when it actually happened, the scene actually happened. And Gordy's kind of like walking around the studio and he's like slumped against the chair and he's tapping the foot of the young lady that he's mauled, and you've got that perfectly upright shoe that's just sitting there. It was like, yeah, I had the anxiety belly. So again, effective. Let me just see here. Gordy draws a parallel between the cost of spectacle with animals and the alien and how using creatures for entertainment is playing with fire. I think, yes, that totally makes sense. Because then we have the young man who now has the ranch and is making a spectacle of what's going on up in the sky. You'd think he'd kind of learn from what happened with Gordy. I'm guessing that would be it. So yeah, that makes total sense. That was Macy Walters. Thank you, Macy. Thank you very much for that. Oh man, these bots are coming in. 69mega.com. Stop watching the stream. Find love. You heard the bot, guys. Go to 69mega.com and go find some love. Okay. But bots be gone. We got Kevin Fishgal here. Hi, Chris. I'm a new subscriber since the Nightmare ranking with Slaughtered Lamb. Oh, thank you so much, man. Welcome. The content is amazing. And I think I've consumed 30 hours. Good Lord. Oh my God, man. Thank you so much. So guys, I will be answering a few questions here and there, but then we're going to have a proper Q&A at the end. So again, just thanks for sticking with me and thanks for putting up with that technical issue at the beginning. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, I thought that scene with Gordy was very interesting. And now obviously that makes sense with the comment I just read there. So yeah, it definitely does make sense with the young man who then, goes on to have the ranch and he's got all that memorabilia in that special room. And he says like a Swiss couple paid like 50 grand to spend the night there. So he's like, there's still a hardcore audience, but you think he would have learned after all that not to exploit animals, or in this case, the animals in the sky. Sorry, I got my notes here. So Daniel Kaluuya gives a brilliant performance, very subdued. And then Kiki Palmer is just batshit crazy in the best way possible. She's the type of sister I would love to have, because even on a shitty day, she'd make you feel good. And I am, spoilers, we and it's in the trailer, to be honest. We do see that their father, played by Keith David, does die at the beginning of the film from objects falling from the sky. He has a coin embedded in his eye. And obviously, I don't think Daniel's character has recovered from that properly, but he's always been very subdued. He's very calm, collected, and that's just what his character is. And Kiki's the polar opposite. So again, I think they were the perfect yin and yang for each other. Then they kind of have to work together, and they enlist the help of the bloke named Angel, who they bail the security cameras from, and then they bring in a cinematographer, a very famous cinematographer who they worked with at the beginning of the film. Well, I'd say work, but they kind of got fired because one of the horses flipped out. And he was the cinematographer, and he's one of the guys apparently that can get the shot. So it was very refreshing to see. I loved at the end them all working together, and then it just becomes an absolute shit show. The two standouts for me in terms of what I loved about this were the visuals and the sound design. Holy shit, the sound design was brilliant, even to the point where there was no sound. It just rumblings, murmurs, nothing. And then all of a sudden it starts up again. And a very interesting concept that if you avert your eyes from the animals in the sky, they leave you alone. Again, I thought that was very clever. I like that. Very intrigued by that. And then the visuals, the visuals were, oh man, one scene in particular where the animals in the sky, whatever's up there, takes people up there, and essentially it makes them mince meat and it churns them out. And that scene where this thing is hovering over their house and it's raining blood. Like, it's obviously raining for real, but there's blood coming out of this thing, this organic looking craft, and it's just it looks like something out of Hellraiser, something out of Clive Barker's imagination. And I love that. I was watching it and I turned to my mate Pete. I'm like, that's amazing. That's brilliant. I would love, like, that would make like epic illustrated art with the lightning cracking and the thunder cracking. You just had the illuminated red rain coming over their house. So again, the sound design and imagery was brilliant. And again, it's Jordan Peele doing his thing. I love it's such a success story. A man that was just so into comedy go into horror, much like John Krasinski. You know, he was Jim from The Office, and now he's making A Quiet Place 1 and 2. Or should I call him Mr. Fantastic? Come on, we all know he's going to be Mr. Fantastic. It's pretty obvious. But I love those little turnaround, or not even a turnaround, but it's just like one avenue and then the next. Like, they're horror fans at heart, and you can see that. So I had a really damn good time with Nope. Only real gripes really would be that it's just a bit of a slow burn, but I totally get it. You kind of got to tease the monster. You don't want to give too much away. And ultimately, Jordan Peele doesn't give too much away of what's doing the damage. And I commend him for that, because a lot of movies do that. They go way overboard, and I think it leaves it up to your imagination, because your imagination goes to the worst case scenario, and your thoughts of what this thing could be. I just think that was very smart, very well done. He could have gone all out and shown exactly what was going on inside that organic craft. Maybe that is the monster. If it is, fine. It kind of still has that element of mystery. So bravo to Jordan Peele. I definitely think this is my favorite of his trilogy of horror films thus far. I do have to go back and watch Get Out. It's been a while. And it has been a while since I've watched Us. I definitely had the most fun with Nope, though. And I love that also it's a love letter to people working in Hollywood, especially animal trainers, because holy shit, it is hard work. You know, I've seen firsthand some animal trainers on set, stuff like that, and even spoken with animal trainers, and it is a tough slug. Like, it is a real tough slug to do for your 15 minutes of fame, or for your animal's 15 minutes of fame. So Kenneth Campos commented, will you cosplay as the UFO? There you go. This is my cosplay as the UFO from Nope. Woo! Damn, that was a hard cosplay to do. I do love the look, though. It was very, looked like a bed sheet. Looked like a very suggestive bed sheet, if you know what I mean. Just having a look at some comments here. Awesome. All right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, look, overall, guys, I definitely had a very good time with Nope. I definitely want to go back and watch it again. I feel like with Prey, there are a few things that I missed. But yeah, like last week and this week has been great in terms of films. Now, this one runs at just over 2 hours. I feel like they could have shaved off a few things here and there. It didn't flow as well as Prey, because Prey is only an hour 40. But still, I thought it was great. I thought the dialogue was very, very snappy, very, very well done. It was natural, especially the dynamic between Daniel Kaluuya's character and Kiki Palmer's character. I love when they enlist the help of the cinematographer, and Kiki Palmer's like, what'd she say? This guy brought a non-electrical camera, and they're just like, I'm like, yeah, that's, you guys really care about each other. That's really sweet. So I thought their dynamic was great. They had great chemistry as brother and sister. So I'm thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. So much so, I actually want to show Chloe, because Chloe's not the biggest horror movie fan. She's okay with this stuff because she sees the process of me making it, and she's like, it's okay. So I think she'd like it too, because the sci-fi elements are very cool. So yeah, those are my reviews of Prey and Nope. In terms of like out of 5 geeks, I'd probably give Prey a good 4 out of 5 geeks, and I'll probably give Nope, yeah, a good 4 out of 5 geeks as well. So I'm very interested to see where things will go after Prey, whether that's it or they're going to expand upon that. I would love to see the Predator in feudal Japan. Holy shit, going up against samurais, and then maybe have the Predator take some of the samurai armor and like kit bash its own suit of armor together. I just think there's something so badass about Predator and samurais. I just think there's something epic about that. So that would be pretty cool to see. So anyway, moving on to entertainment news. Now, I was going to do a standalone video on this, but when I got the idea, give Cosplay Chris Live a crack, why not just put everything into one? So unfortunately, Batgirl has been cancelled. Now, originally it was supposed to come out at the end of this year, and then it got pushed back to beginning of next year, I believe. And unfortunately, it was a tax write-off. You're going to hear murmurs that the test screening tested awful, and that happens with test screenings. Like, case in point, Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends had a cracker of a test screening, then it had an absolute abysmal test screening with 2 different screenings. I think they had different endings, and then they recently had another one in Las Vegas, and apparently that got a standing ovation. Standing ovation. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, test screenings happen for a reason, just like reshoots happen for a reason. It's most times out of 10, films will have reshoots or additional photography. And I can't remember off the top of my head if Batgirl did have any reshoots, but the budget was supposedly $90 million, and Warner Brothers have subsequently canceled it with the new leadership and all that, with everything going on. Because essentially it was a tax write-off because they weren't going to make that much money theatrically, and they weren't going to make much money off streaming. So they kind of just cut their losses and are going to do it as a tax write-off. And I'm sad, man. I actually screenshotted this 10 minutes before I went live. Apparently, it has been noted, excuse me, Warner Brothers reportedly wants to keep Leslie Grace as Batgirl in a future film. So I put a post up on my Cosplay Chris Facebook page saying, gutted to everyone involved, cast and crew. Hopefully it's a step in the right direction. And what I mean is, it's one of the things where I hope it's 1 step back, 2 steps forward, that we still eventually get Leslie Grace as Batgirl, but you've got to crawl before you can walk. And then you obviously got to walk before you can run. So it sucks because I was so looking forward to seeing Brendan Fraser. I love that he's had this renaissance, and he's just such a protected species in the best way possible. And he was going to be playing fucking Firefly, for goodness sake. So it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But I hope it's a step in the right direction. Now, again, it was a tax write-off. And some people are going to roll their eyes and be like, that's fuck. But at the end of the day, it's a business decision. We've got the new powers of Warner Brothers who are merging with Discovery and all that coming in, and they essentially want a 10-year plan, much like Marvel, which possibly means, and I am just fingers everything crossed, that we get Affleck back. My understanding is Affleck wasn't a fan of the people at Warner Brothers, from my understanding. It wasn't that he wasn't happy with playing Batman. He loved playing Batman. My understanding was that he just didn't like the way things were going at Warner Brothers, and that's why he kind of stepped back. But obviously, we've seen him do reshoots for Aquaman. Was it Aquaman? Yeah, Aquaman. So the reason being is because all this hoo-ha that's going on with The Flash has pushed things pushed things back. So essentially the films have crossed back over, and continuity-wise, it wouldn't make sense with Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne, so they had to get Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne in, which is great. anything that Affleck is involved in when it comes to Warner Brothers and Bruce Wayne or Batman, I'm totally invested in, because it might mean that we have that one little shred of hope that he is going to come back ultimately as Batman, and we do eventually get his solo film that he wrote with Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke. I just think, I just really hope it does happen. It could be so good. So good. I have a comment here from Mirror Domains. Do you like his Firefly costume? I did. I actually really dug it. There are set photos. It's got to be the stunt guy. It's got to be a stunty. Wearing the Firefly costume on top of a fire truck, I think it is. I thought it looked great. It was very steampunk, very reminiscent of steampunk, but I thought it looked great. It's very like kind of kit bashed, brass, copper, pipes soldered together and stuff like that. So I again, that's why this sucks so much. Not only we got Brendan Fraser coming back, we got Brendan Fraser doing a Darren Aronofsky film, that film Whale, where he's got all that heavy prosthetics on. He's also doing a Martin Scorsese film from memory. So he's renaissanced, and it's so good to see, because my God, the man has had a tragic couple of years. But it just would have been so cool to see him back, but also as a villain, a Batgirl villain. Like, come on, man. So it is definitely heartbreaking. I just hope it's all for the right reasons. Honestly, I definitely do think things are going on at Warner Brothers for a reason. They've got that 10-year plan, supposedly. As far as I know, Blue Beetle is still going ahead. Blue Beetle is coming out next year, and it's got the young man who's in Cobra Kai. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his name. But yeah, I think he's a great choice as Blue Beetle. The costume, holy shit. Have you guys seen the Blue Beetle costume from set photos? That is how you transfer comic book to real life. It looks brilliant. So I'm excited for Blue Beetle. I know nothing of the character. It just looks fun. And plus, that young man who's portraying Blue Beetle from Cobra Kai, I fucking love him. He's brilliant. And we got Cobra Kai coming at the end of the year. Pretty sure it's the end of the year. So that's something else to look forward to. So yeah, I definitely do think it's going to be for the greater good, as quoted from Hot Fuzz. So it does definitely suck. But again, like, ignore what you hear about the test screenings. That has nothing to do with that. It's purely just for a tax write-off. They feel like it just wasn't going to generate enough revenue for them. So they kind of just had to cut their losses, and that was essentially it. So I'm sad for what could have been. From all the set photos too, Leslie Grace looked amazing as Batgirl. I would have liked to have seen an evolution with her costume. I definitely think that was going to happen. And fucking Michael Keaton was in it. It was, it was his triumphant return. And we obviously have his triumphant return in The Flash, whether or not that is going ahead at the moment. And actually today I was watching John Campea before on his live show with his crew. From the top of my head, Warner Brothers at the moment have three options. They either get Ezra to come out, make a public apology and explain himself. He either then doesn't attend the premiere or has nothing to do with the marketing or promotions, or they just scrap the film altogether. It's just, again, it's a shit show. Absolute shit show. If it wasn't a matter of money and time, and they could have reshot everything, get Grant Gustin. Like, he's going to do a good job. He's reliable. But that's not going to be the case, I don't think. Like, it's the film's too far gone to completely refilm, and it just, like, logistically would be a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. So again, in and itself, it's interesting times ahead. I really do hope Affleck comes back. I have heard also that they have approached Henry Cavill. Henry apparently isn't on board yet. I think because he hasn't been sold on a pitch yet. So there's hope. There is still hope. And he wants to play Superman. He still wants to play the Man of Steel. It's just, for him, the story has to be right, which I totally respect. Like, my God, that's amazing. That's what you want to hear from an actor. So what do we got here? Read comics. They should just keep Ezra away from the marketing and move and not work with him again. I always thought he's a bad Flash anyway. I mean, yeah, fair enough. And again, Grant Gustin is an amazing Flash. I've only seen a few episodes of the Flash series. I know, silly me. But I loved him, and he's just got such a nice charm about him. He's just got a good vibe about him. And physically as well, I think I don't know. I think he's more suited for the role. And look, I really do hope Ezra gets all the help he surely needs and he sorts himself out. And in the long run, he's going to be a better person and betters himself. But holy hell, yeah, it's there's a lot going on at Warner Brothers at the moment. So anyway, so with that being said, let's move on to a Q&A. Let's chat, guys. So sorry, let me start at the top. I probably should have enabled slow mode. So let's get to some super chats. And guys, thank you so much. Like, this is all new to me. This is amazing. So we have a super chat from Kenneth Campos. Hey Chris, I wanted to say found your channel by accident. You repainting masks, and I've loved all of your content sits. Keep up the great work, Kenneth. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. In terms of what's coming up next, I've obviously got to do my Phantom reveal video. I've got to do upgrading the Batman suit. In terms of custom collectibles, I'm finally getting around to doing the diorama using a vintage front of a vintage TV front with a Ninja Turtles diorama going on from the first film, using the smaller NECA TMNT 1990 figures with the shredder. So I'm going to try and replicate the rooftop setting from the end of the film. That's going to be a big build of a video. Excuse me, I just need a sip of water. So speaking about custom collectibles, I want to be a bit transparent with you guys. For the first time ever since I started doing custom collectibles, I think I'd have to go back. The Hulkbuster was what? End of 2015, 2016. I was filming custom collectible last week, and I actually pulled the plug. I stopped. I just couldn't do it. And it just would have turned out so bad. And I've never done that before. And I felt bad doing it, but I felt like I was wasting my time, and it was shit. It was very shit. It was a shit feeling. And I want to be open with you guys. So I'd filmed my intro. I was like halfway through the process, and I had gigabytes of footage. So what the initial custom collectible was, getting these Dragon Ball Z figures and repainting them like they've literally come right off the screen with shadows, contouring, and hard lines and stuff like that. I'm seeing some beautiful customs on Instagram from some talented artists all over the world that repaint these and sell them. And it dead set looks like a drawing. So much so, they'll do videos of their figure on a piece of paper. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's a good drawing. And then their hand comes in and picks up the figure. I'm like, what the fuck? Holy shit. So I wanted to try my hand at it. Pardon me, I had to burp. There's another burp. A third burp. 3 in a row. Hat trick. So I tried my hand at it. I went and bought a shitload of paints. I had my Super Saiyan 3 Goku here. I think it's still here. Let me just double check. Excuse me. No, it's still not here. I think it's in storage now. So anyway, I repainted the whole thing, and then I went in doing the details. So like the darker shades of flesh, and then doing the certain shading on the hair with his blonde Super Saiyan hair. And I just hated how it was turning out. I absolutely loathed it. And I had to pull the pin. It sucks. So yeah, I want to be transparent with you guys. That one isn't happening. I'm just going to leave it to the professionals. Maybe down the track, if I'm jonesing again, I'll do it again. But I just didn't have it in me. And I've never done that before. I was just working, and it just wasn't turning out. The paint wasn't cooperating. And also, I've mentioned this on videos before. I sometimes get the shakes. You know, I'm a bit of a nerve bag. I have generalized anxiety disorder. And yeah, my shakes were just really bad that day. Probably didn't help that I had coffee, but you know, that's kind of my own vice. So it just wasn't working. So I just put it all away and deleted the footage. So unfortunately, things just happen sometimes in that respect, and you just got to know when to walk away. Maybe down the track, I will give it another crack. So yeah. Next, also upcoming custom collectibles. I've got my Halloween Kills coveralls here that I'm going to be converting. Well, they're the Legion Safety work right replicas that I'm going to be converting into Halloween Kills coveralls with all the burns and stuff like that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So now let me just go back up here. This seems to be working pretty well, guys. This is fucking amazing. Thank you so much for standing by. This is great. Space Case, glad to catch this live. Well, thank you so much. That incredible. Thank you so much. We have a super chat from Morbalord15. Thanks for encouraging me. Much appreciated for inspiring me, dude. Thank you so much. It still like baffles me that people will send me messages or come up to me in cons and be like, hey, I followed your tutorial. I'll get, dads that come up to me like, hey, my kid and I spent a weekend watching your tutorial and painted this. So it's fucking amazing, man. Like it's seriously so cool. Like, thank you so much. I get very shy about this stuff. So I get very shy about this stuff, and I'll probably start blushing. Oh, those bots, man. My God, it's ridiculous. Hello, Chris's mom. Mom's probably here somewhere. I also want to give a shout out to Testing Limits. Testing Limits does some incredible work. So much so, dude, I need to play catch up. You were building a Megazord, a Power Rangers Megazord, but for you, like to wear as a suit, like how they would have worn filming the Power Rangers, which is really cool. So that's awesome, man. Any tips for making the Thor suits from Love and Thunder? As someone who worked on the movie, which congrats, by the way, dude. Thank you. So that's from Skywalker 501st. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, look, I only had a little hand in building something. The Dark Shadow Lord from the beginning of the film that originally wields the Necro Sword, which was pretty fun. So I did he was in pieces when I got there. He was 3D printed. I did all the body work, put him together, patched him, seamed him and all that. And then it was then handed off to the very talented Damian Martin of Odd Studios, Academy Award winner Damian Martin, who painted him this beautiful iridescent oil slick kind of look. So the original 3D file was done by Colin Ware, who some of you may know did the burn makeup for Hayden Christensen as Anakin on Revenge of the Sith. So Colin's a very talented sculptor, so much so he's now doing digital sculpting for Odd, which is incredible. And I also did assist with life casting Christian Bale's stunt double for Gore. He was brilliant, very, very nice guy. And it's funny, like he really does kind of look like Christian Bale. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. In terms of making the Thor armor, so Weta Workshop did it. I thought it was done in-house, but Weta Workshop made Thor's armor, and then Ironhead Studio did Valkyrie's armor and Mighty Thor, Natalie Portman's armor. So most times out of 10, you probably could go foam, EVA foam. It would just be very fiddly, like very, very fiddly with trying to get your templates and everything right. Personally, I would go the 3D printing route. 3D print the bulk of the pieces, mold them in silicon and cast them in a flexible urethane, much like the Phantom Cowl. So this is cast in F125 from Barnes, which is a very flexible, soft urethane. The only problem with urethane is painting it. You have to have this special mixture of urethane paints from Imperial Surface. It's called Impuriflex. And it's what everyone in Hollywood uses to paint, flexible urethane parts, but it costs a lot. And it costs a lot to get it here in Australia because you have to specially import it. I do know Jack of the Dust do stock some Imperial Surface products. So you might be able to look into that if you go that route. So personally, I would 3D print it, man. I would mold it, cast it in flexible urethanes and stuff like that. Or much like this, you can pre-brush in pigment powders. Like that could totally work. And then it saves on painting as long as the finish is good when it comes out of the mold. All right. See what else we've got here. Guys, this is incredible. Thank you so much. This is brilliant. Really digging this. This is a lot of fun. Moving down. Talk amongst yourselves, as my old teachers would say. Okay. We have a super chat from Reed Comics. Used to love your old live streams. Would you want to see Henry Cavill's Superman and the Shazam fam versus Black Adam? Yes, I was thinking about this today. I was actually going to talk about that, or in the back of my head, I was like, I hope someone asked that question. I hope whatever reshoots they've done for Black Adam, it involves Cavill. or they still do reshoots that involve Cavill. I would love to see Henry go up against The Rock. Superman versus Black Adam. Like, it just needs to happen. And The Rock put out a very cryptic post a couple of weeks ago of Henry Cavill's Superman crest, the Hope crest. And I'm paraphrasing. He was saying, you know, I see you, I hear you, and we're going to try to make this work. Something along those lines. So I definitely would love to see that. I think it would be criminal if they didn't include it with some sort of reshoots. So I don't know exactly what the reshoots entail, but watch this space, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So yes, man, absolutely. I would definitely love to see that. It needs to happen. And The Rock gets it. The Rock listens too, which is great. So I'd definitely love to see them. Kenneth, again, thank you so much, man. Don't know if you take requests or just a suggestion. If you've seen Krampus 2015, would love to see you do the Krampus demon cosplay or just the mask. So I have seen parts of Krampus. I had it on in the background when I was working on something a couple of years ago. It was on streaming. I'm like, oh, I want to check this out. And it's got Adam Scott in it. Yeah, it's got Adam Scott in it from Parks and Rec. I definitely need to go back and watch it again. And I've obviously seen stills of Krampus himself. I think it looks wicked. I think it's something you should have on display when it's Halloween out the front to scare the kids, scare the shit out of the kids. I think it'd be brilliant. So yeah, I'd be keen to do something like that. Like if there's a good 3D file and have it printed, mold it, cast it, and do like a really eerie display, like done really right, and then light it properly. So yeah, definitely, man. I have to go back and watch it because I only saw parts. I was working on something, and it was actually good background noise. There was a lot of noise. Someone commented, "This is vodka." I wish. I do have some wine ready to go tonight. It's date night for Chloe and I. Every Friday we have our date night with wine and pizza and a movie. So I'm looking very forward to that. And I think hopefully it'll be a toast to a successful live stream. But hey, I could have just walked away. Frank Riker sends $5. No comment, but Frank, thank you so much, man. Guys, go check out the Slaughtered Lamb podcast with Frank and Darren. I did our rankings of the Nightmare on Elm Street films with the boys. It was a lot of fun. They recently put up a video a day or two ago with their thoughts on Prey. And I couldn't agree more with what you boys said. So go check it out, the Slaughtered Lamb podcast. And they've got some fucking amazing content. So Frank, thanks so much, man. Hopefully would love to do another video with you guys soon, along with Dave McRae as well. Dave's been killing it lately too. Okay. Read Comics sends $7.99. Thank you so much, man. What are some of the most impressive costumes and props you've seen in movies this year? I'm gonna have to go with the Batman. And I know the bat suit isn't everyone's cup of tea, and I totally get that. It's very, very kit bashed. Some parts I don't agree with the suit, but in terms of the tech that's gone into it, it's beautiful, man. Like the 3D design for the cowl and the way they molded the cowl in pieces and actually put the cowl together. And even though they could have just printed the stitch marks, they had a seamstress go in and actually stitch the cowl, which is that's crazy. The devil is definitely in the details with that suit. And also the fact that it looks like fabric on the chest. It's not fabric, it's urethane, but it's been molded to look like fabric. And the way they've weathered it and finished it, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What other costumes? I really dug Hemsworth's costume, Natalie's costume from Love and Thunder. I thought they were brilliant. Makeup, Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Holy shit, Mike Marino and his crew should be commended for that. That is a brilliant makeup. And I can't wait to see what they do with Colin's makeup in the Penguin TV series. Big shout out to Odd Studio for their makeup for Gore the God Butcher. I was privileged enough while I was working on Dark Shadow Lord to see them figuring out Gore's makeup. Christian hadn't arrived in Sydney yet, but they were trying to figure out the flat tattoos. So in the prologue, you know how Christian has those gray tattoos before he has all the scarification. They had his scan there, his head scan from Legacy Effects, I believe, that was shipped over. And they're trying to figure out the head tattoos. If you lay them flat, how the contour is going to go. They had all the artwork. And they were also working on his feet. So Christian wore silicone socks for safety reasons, because his character's barefoot. Obviously, he has the shrouds and everything and barefoot. But for insurance, he had to wear silicone feet with like soles embedded in the casting. So they were working on his feet. Guy's got massive feet too. They had castings of his feet. And I'm like, holy shit, he's got huge feet. You know what they say about huge feet? Hey, am I right? Sorry, that's my creepy uncle laugh. But yeah, man. What else? Ooh, what other costumes? I'd have to definitely think about that one, man. But yeah, top of my head for costumes, the Batman, Thor: Love and Thunder, makeup, Colin Farrell's Penguin, and yeah, like honorary mention also to the Prey suit. I think it was quite different, but it worked a lot. I thought it was quite nice. I like the V taper as well. Very, very nice V taper. Very aesthetically pleasing as well. The movements as well. The stunt performer, I don't know his name off the top of my head. I'm sorry. The stunt performer that was in the suit was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Very physical. That scene with the French pelters in that burnt out forest, badass. Absolute badass. So love that scene. So, alrighty, we've got Techno Bacon. I want bacon all of a sudden. Hey, yo, Chris. Sorry if you've answered this before, but I'm curious if you're still working on the CC logo cosplay, or is it the back burner for now? No, man. Very good. So at the beginning of the stream, I gave everyone cosplay updates with what's happening. I've got the Phantom, Samurai Spawn, and the Avatar logo cosplay. So this is the chest emblem so far. The bodysuit is being designed by Ryan Jenkins of Frontier Costuming, who did the Samurai Spawn costume. So it's probably going to be the same deal as here. There's all little C's, as you can see on there, which is pretty cool. So it's just going to follow that aesthetic and then have the golds and the blues. I've got the material for the cape. I've had the material for the cape for 2 years now. I bought 6 meters of it. And Chloe, because Chloe's a seamstress as well, which is really, really handy because I can't sew to save my life. She gets the shits that I glue everything. I'm like, she's like, Stanley, you can't glue everything. I'm like, hey, if it can be glued, yes, you can. She's going to help with the cape, with like the pleating and stuff like that. Boots, I'm probably going to go with Tilly Effects. I don't know if you guys have heard of Tilly Effects. They do some really amazing boots. Marco Tilly, he does really cool superhero boots, custom boots. So something that's a nice blue will be really nice. So I'll be wearing a muscle suit. Definitely need a muscle suit for that. Then with the bodysuit, with this, a belt as well. I've got the master for the belt that needs to be molded, and that'll be cast in probably a blue powdered urethane, just like that. I'm going to have little canisters that have driveway dirt and shoe polish all around the belt. So that'll be pretty fun. Still tinkering whether I go with gloves or no gloves. I don't know. Again, that's all part of the design process. So aiming to have that one done this year, man. So very good timing, actually. I did show at the beginning of the stream, but yeah, there you go. There she is again. Okay. I'm just playing catch up, guys. I'm very sorry. Quick question from Matt Demo. Hey, Chris, what's a good way to paint silicon? Thanks for being such a big influence. Thank you so much, man. Okay, so I'm not an expert with painting silicon. Silicon is fucking hard to paint, man. Nothing wants to stick to silicon but silicon. You have to you have to use something called Psycho Paint that's from Smooth On. So it's like a medium that you mix the silicon pigments into. It can then be thinned down, I believe, and fed through an airbrush if you're airbrushing whatever piece you're doing, etc. So yeah, silicon, you have to use a silicon-based paint. So yes, it's called Psycho Paint, man, from Smooth On. That's your best bet. Other than that, I have no idea. I've never had to paint silicon before. It's very intimidating. It's kind of like painting urethane. Painting urethane is very intimidating because you have to have right paints and some things just don't stick. So yeah, man, definitely look up Psycho Paint from Smooth On. I'm not sure where you are in the world. If you're in the States, easy to get. Mind you, you can get a lot of Smooth On stuff here in Australia now. There is a bit of a premium on it though, because they do have to import it. So yeah, man, thank you very much. Kenneth Campos again. No doubt a remake of Halloween in the future. If offered, would you ever want to play Michael Myers or if you could play any horror movie character. Or, dude, I'm like a stormtrooper. I'm a little on the short side. um, I would respectfully decline the offer of Michael Myers because it's so iconic. I feel you need someone with a bit more stature. I would love to be a side character, or like, I would definitely love to be a character in a Halloween film, like, up there on the screen, with dialogue and everything. Holy shit, up against Jamie Lee Curtis, acting opposite Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, sign me up. In terms of playing the Shape, I'd be a stunt double. I'd definitely take a fall, but man, like, even though it's simple mannerisms Michael has, it's still a tall order, and I think James Hugh Courtney should be commended for what he's doing, because obviously we've had Dick Warlock, we've had Don Shanks, we've had George P. Wilbur, we've had Chris Durant from H2O, we've had Brad Lorry from Resurrection, and they've all brought something different to the table. Some good, some not so good, but they've all done their own thing. Dick Warlock, is famous for having a robotic walk, but that's because he was really given no direction. At the end of the day, Nick Castle was the OG. So I would definitely love to be a character in a Halloween film. Probably not Michael. I'd love to be killed by Michael. I'd pay to be killed by Michael. I'd pay to be killed by him. I would love to play Freddy. I would love to play a younger version of Freddy in like a prequel or something like that. Also, guys, if anyone's tuning in, video for this guy will be up either tomorrow or Sunday. So it's Friday afternoon here in Australia. It is currently 2:26 in the afternoon, Friday afternoon. So I was at Mum and Dad's this morning in the workshop filming the reveal footage of him and just everything else and getting the thumbnail stuff. So I'll go to, after this, jump back on the laptop and finish editing that. So yeah, what is going on next? Joshua Bonfield, is there a guitar to go with that top in the back? Possibly, man. If I have time, I can source one. Excuse me, I need another drink. I'm talking a lot. I'm not used to talking so much. Oh, that's good vodka. I wish. Yeah, look, definitely if there's one to source or 3D print one or something like that, or just like by the facade. But also keep in mind, I'm not going with that look of Eddie with the climax of that episode where he's got the bandolier belt, the green hunter's jacket, and the bandana on, even though he's got the bandana in his back pocket with that one. So I'm going for the look that he has predominantly in the series when he's not at the climax of the film. But if I, do add on to the cosplay, for sure, I'm sure people out there will be doing replica guitars and stuff like that, because I don't play instruments, so it kind of feels sacrilege to buy an actual guitar and do that. So if there's a good replica down the track where I want to update or upgrade the costume, for sure. Absolutely, man. Kenneth, how tall are you? I come in at a whopping 175 centimeters, man. So it's kind of nice to know that Tom Hardy's my height, Michael Keaton's my height. 175 centimeters, man. So I'm the epitome of average male height. So my dad's about the same height. My dad's about 178. So yeah, and my mum's like 2'3", I think. Yeah, she's very tall. She's in the chat right now being like, you little shit. Mark Murdoch 115. If Affleck returns as Batman, in terms of design, which direction would you take the bat suit? Love you, Chris. Thanks for inspiring me. Mark, thank you so much, man. Love you too. I would still love to see the OG Ironhead Studios suit from 2016's BVS. You can't really approve upon that suit, man. It's just in my humble opinion. It's completely subjective. Some people love the Justice League suit. Some people love the tactical Justice League suit. Going back to the Flash, he has a different suit in the Flash when he's on the motorcycle, very, armor plated, stuff like that, which is quite interesting. So I would still definitely go with the OG suit from BVS, maybe just tweaked a little bit. Look, I wouldn't tweak anything. I think that cowl on Affleck looks beautiful. Like he fills that cowl so well, no matter what angle you're going from. I just, I don't think it needs improving upon. Again, that's just my opinion, man. And I'm sure, you guys would probably be like, I'd like to see them go this route or that route. 100%. I would love to see a whole film dedicated to the Nightmare timeline and have him, in the trench coat, the goggles, with the scar L. I would love that. I think that's a beautiful iteration of the suit too. So I would definitely go back to the OG, and I'd keep Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke design at the end of Justice League. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was just straight out of the Arkham games. If they can replicate the sequence from the trailer of Arkham Origins, where Batman's at the docks up against Deathstroke and Black Mask is there. Holy shit. Like if you could do a film centered around that and have that look, that tone, you got a winner. You got a winner, man. And from what I know in terms of what I've read, Affleck's initial script was very psychologically damaging with what Deathstroke is doing to Bruce and Batman, and playing games, like playing mental games with Batman and really going to town on him. So again, fingers crossed, man. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least we'll always have what he did in BVS. And I'm totally okay with people not being okay with his morals as Batman in BVS. I'm just coming from a standpoint of where he's been Batman for 20 years and he's very jaded, world weary, and he's grizzled. Like Frank Miller, Dark Knight Returns. As Aussies say, he's just got the shits. He's just a cranky bugger. So yeah, I definitely would go the OG Ironhead suit, man, and the Armors suit too from BVS. I think that's a great interpretation of Frank Miller's design. White Ennis, thank you so much, man. Have you ever considered starting a Twitch? I set up a Twitch account years ago, and I was going to do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to stream, Again, because I'm very technically inept, and I really got to do my homework clearly after today. It just kind of never came to fruition. So yeah, it was just been on the back burner ever since. But maybe someday if I really get the hang of this, but I really am liking this for now. Cause I just, they always say you got to broaden your horizons and branch out. I just like keeping everything central on my channel, but if you don't do it, you don't know. So I guess it's, worth having a crack again once I know what I'm bloody doing. Okay, I'm just making sure I haven't missed any super chats. Guys, thank you so much again. Creepy uncle. Yay. Lux Media, what's the next photo shoot / video shoot you got coming up for your cosplay? So I'd love to do a Phantom shoot. I need to do a Phantom shoot for the reveal footage and all that. I'd love to go out to like a national park or like a bush somewhere that's local and it kind of looks like the Bengala jungle, and do that. I need to do updated reveal footage and just a video of updating the Batman suit. Pardon me, I'm very gassy today. The Batman suit, Eddie Munson, of course, when Eddie's all done and dusted. So yeah, man, those three, and then eventually do a really fun shoot for the Cosplay Chris logo avatar. So yeah, that's what's next in terms of shoots. Okay. Update on the Michael Myers glove. Oh, okay. I shipped it off today. What I do, this is how backwards I am, man. I'm going to show you footage on my phone of the glove on and finished. There you go. All shipped off to the United States. I was really pleasantly surprised with how it turned out. So it's cast in F125, same stuff as this. It was a bit tricky to paint. I had to mix up more urethane tinted with red for all the gore, just so I know it would stick because, it's urethane to urethane. It is a little snug, though, for people with bigger hands. I have, as my dad says, tiny piano player's hands. Like I'd make a good pianist. And I got the measurements of Nick, who ordered the hand. Originally, I was just going to sell him the blank cast. He goes, "Oh, do you want to try and paint it?" I'm like, "Yeah, but there's no promises it's going to be good." And he goes, "That's fine. Just go for it. Go nuts." And it was actually a good learning curve. So on my hand, it's great. Fun fact, it's actually a casting of my dad's hand. That's where the castings came from, because my dad has like burly man hands. So it fits nice on me because I've got the room. And from the measurements I've got of Nick's hand, it's going to fit pretty well though. But it's one of those things where you'd really either have to talcum powder your hand or really put a lot of KY jelly on your hand, which is kind of gross, but it works. And it looks natural because it like hugs a lot. It's kind of not bulky, not like sausage fingers. And once the coveralls are over it, it looks pretty good. I don't know whether I'll offer them. I might wait until Nick gets his hand. It's shipped off today. I shipped 4 orders off today. So I'll see what Nick thinks when he gives it a test run. But yeah, that's an update for you, man. Kenneth, hello, mate. Can you do your Nightmare Joker laugh? I just watched that recently. Also, love your Jack Sparrow cosplay. Best Jack voice saying your okay. All right, prepare to cringe. My Leto Joker laugh. So he's got his Suicide Squad one where he's just like ah. Or then you got like the Nightmare one where he's like It's really weird. Really weird. I didn't do my vocal exercises. Someone made a good point there. They're like, it's like as if he's had his vocal cords damaged from Batfleck. That's why he laughs like that. He's not cackling like the Joker that we know and love. Sorry, Kenneth, what did you also ask? Also, loved your Jack Sparrow cosplay. Thank you very much, man. Best Jack voice saying your ending. Oh, God, Jack's voice is hard to do. All I can say in Jack's voice is like, "Oi, what are you doing?" That's it. Like his voice is so hard to do. I like to pride myself on doing impersonations, but Jack's voice is hard to do. Like, God, how would you do it? Like to say cosplayers do it best. Like you got to do the mannerisms and cosplayers do it best. Yeah, no, see, that doesn't sound like Jack. That sounds like Jack Smith from England. But thank you, man. Alrighty. I actually was working on my Uncle Fester impression. This is how much time I have in the car to myself. Christopher Lloyd's Uncle Fester from the original 2 Addams Family movies. I love his mannerisms and his just his voice. There's just something how he's when he talks about the Bermuda Triangle, when he's talking to Wednesday, and Wednesday's like, "You're going to be staying, Uncle Fester," and Uncle Fester's like, "Cooking in the Bermuda Triangle, Gomez." It looks like at the end of every day, Christopher Lloyd would have been exhausted. Just like, "Gomez!" I love it. Absolutely love it. Anyway, that was my shitty Uncle Fester impression. Yeah. Why is the rum always gone? All right. All right, let's answer some more questions, guys. Again, like, thanks for being so patient. I really do appreciate this. We've been going for an hour 25. It's crazy. Crazy. So, okay, update on Malcolm Myers glove. I've done that. Who is that behind you? Who? So I got Freddy there. Got my life-size Freddy. I got Chucky, which I did a custom collectible on. I have my bootleg Joker figure, which I'm actually thinking of doing a custom collectible on in terms of the head sculpt, repainting it, and possibly doing rooted hair. I'll see how I go. I got my beautiful Michael Myers Halloween Kills mask that was painted by Simon Brandolino. And then I have my Eddie Munson cosplay so far, what I've got so far of Eddie. That's actually on Chloe's dress mannequin. I had to ask her if I can put it on there. She's fine with it. She's cool with it. Young Boy Sneakers, I've been watching you for 5 years. Love your work, man. Thank you so much, dude. It's been 8 years. It's been 84 years. Yeah, it's been 8 years, man, since I started this. It's crazy. CDM Galaxy, have you seen The Boys? So, bad me, I have not seen The Boys. I have not seen a lot of TV series because I'm one of those people where I really have to commit to it. And The Boys looks amazing. I've heard nothing but good stuff. I actually made an exploding head for the premiere of season 3 of The Boys here in Sydney a month ago, and I haven't even watched that yet. I do know there's this episode in the latest one. I think one of them crawls into someone's ass. I don't know, but yeah, look, it looks like a lot of fun. Homelander looks like a bad bastard, like an absolute bad bastard. So yeah, I have been meaning to check it out for the longest time. It's just finding the time. Okay. Fill a boot. I found you when you did your Wolverine cosplay the first time. Oh man, going back with the Wolverine diet and all that, that was yeah, that took a toll on me, that one. Funny timing, actually. I put up my post this morning of my Wolverine cosplay from Marvel Midnight Sun. So I joined up with Marvel and 2K games, did the Captain America costume and the Wolverine costume. So the Cap stuff is live on socials. That was up ages ago. Alice Cyrus. Hi, Alice. Hi, Alice. Want to make babies? That was a bad Freddy impression from Nightmare 5. And the Wolverine stuff came up today. I will have a video on that, on the breakdowns of both costumes and then me wearing them at the end of the video. I'm just waiting to get sign off from Marvel and 2K on that. So everything else is live. I'm just waiting to go live with the video on the channel. So yeah, man, I had a lot of fun with that one. The Wolverine one was really, really fun. Okay. Kenneth Campos again. Kenneth, you're fucking killing it, man. Based on Halloween Ends, unless Michael's appearance changes greatly in the end, do you expect any cosplay since his look appears as the same as Kills? I'll see after the film comes out. I've probably digested it and seen like what happens. If there's a massive change, sure, absolutely, man. I have seen a photo of the mask on set from a very credible source. It was Aaron Armstrong, the stunt double. It's his mask. Pardon me. On set, it looks relatively the same. The eyes are just a bit more opened, and it's a bit more droopy. There were a lot of murmurs that it was going to be stitched up, much in the vein of Leatherface, but it's nothing like that. It kind of, if anything, it looks like the hair's thin. It's a bit more moldier and a bit more droopier, and essentially what would happen to latex during a 4-year period. And I think Christopher Nelson did a wonderful job in terms of the continuity. So yeah, man, I think it looks great in terms of doing an updated cosplay. Once the film's out, I'll assess the situation. If by the end Michael's wearing a tutu, looks like I'm wearing a tutu, man. The funny thing is, I would. Okay. Mark Murdoch 115 sends in $5. Thank you so much, man. I loved your reviews of the first 2 volumes of Batman Earth 1 back in the day. Did you read volume 3, and would you ever do an Earth 1 cosplay? I have not read volume 3. I must live under a rock because I had no idea volume 3 was out. So we're going back a long time. My first Batman cosplay I did was inspired by Earth 1 in terms of the bodysuit, the chest emblem, and kind of the hard lines on the bodysuit. So when I read Earth 1, I loved that suit. There's something really cool about it. And the way the cowl hugs the face, it's very reminiscent of Batman Dead End, that fan film where Batman goes up against the Predator and the Alien. If you guys haven't checked it out, go to YouTube and search Batman Dead End. It's a wonderful fan film. Like, it's a high-end fan film. Would I do like a proper full-blown Earth 1 Batsuit cosplay? Absolutely, man. Yeah, for sure. I love playing as the Earth 1 design when I replay the Arkham games. Because you can change the skins, and I always go to the Earth 1 because I'll be standing there when I'm playing the game and I turn the camera around and look at the Earth 1 suit, and I'm like sitting on the couch, I'm like, damn, that's a nice suit. So yeah, definitely, absolutely. Okay. Matt Demmel, do you have any advice for someone looking to get into freelance art, costuming, and prop making? Oh, my best advice to you, dude. I'm trying to be full of wisdom here, but you've got to have fun with it. Try not to make it a chore. You are going to have, if you go ahead with it and you pick up momentum, you're going to have, your down days. And I'm trying to be as transparent and open as possible. You're going to have your days where the phone won't ring for a while, emails won't come through, offers won't come through for a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're back again. And that's the nature of freelance. And for the most part, I consider myself a freelance artist. I take it on a lot of commissions. I do commission work. Now and then I will freelance with other companies and stuff like that. And sometimes it gets very quiet, and it can get, quite nerve-wracking, especially when it's your bread and butter. But dude, if it's something you want to do, fucking do it. Like, life's too short to work in something you don't like doing. It's not good for the mind. It's not good for the body. It's not good for your heart. It can be soul crushing. And when you've built your portfolio and you built yourself up enough and you have that momentum and you look back, it's so liberating to do. So my advice is go for it, man. Keep aside, if you have a side hustle, if you have a part-time job, casual job, keep it for the time being. You've got to have that steady source of income. You just have to be smart about it. I used to work at Sydney Airport. A lot of people know, a lot of my viewers know I used to work at Sydney Airport. I was there for 6 years. I was in customer service for QantasLink, which essentially is like the United Express version of Qantas. We have the littler planes that go to rural parts of Australia. And I went from customer service out to what's called RAM tactical controller when I was running paperwork out to the aircrafts. And I'd already started the channel. Like I started the channel 2014, and I was bringing my laptop in and working on videos, and I was bringing molds in at one point and casting up Batfleck belt pieces. So I was in this little shed out on the tarmac, running paperwork out to the aircrafts and all that. Anyway, one day, got called into the office and my job had been made redundant because they brought in iPads for the pilots, which totally makes sense. Instead of me running old-fashioned paperwork out to a plane, you have something that is electrical and in the cloud, done, lock up the plane, you're out of there. It just means a quicker lockup. So from a business standpoint, that's so logical. And I thought it was the best thing ever. Like, that was so supportive and so cool. Qantas are like, if there's something else you want to do in the business, we'll help you do it. If not, here's a payout based on how long you've been with us, and we'll catch you later. And I went about it full time. And there were scary moments, man. There definitely were scary moments with the channel and working on commissions where it got quiet. And, mum will back me up here. Mum got a little bit worried. Dad got a little bit worried too, but it's just coming from a concerned parent. They just want their child just to, be happy, do well and succeed and stuff like that. And, it's one of those things where you got to be like, trust the process. So trust your process, man. And definitely give it a crack. Like, if you don't do it, you don't know. And if it's what you want to do, just fucking do it, man. But just be smart about it. If you got like I said, a part-time job, casual job, keep it for now. Have that little bit of pocket money coming in, that little steady source of income. And then when you build yourself up enough and you feel like you can spread your wings fully, take the leap, man. Leap and the net will appear. So yeah, that's my best advice here, dude. I honestly wish you all the best, because it's a wonderful life when you get to do that stuff for yourself and for other people. Kenneth, again, dude, thank you so much. Would you ever cosplay as Chucky for fun? Yeah, absolutely I would. I've got the perfect height for it. I've seen some really good Chucky cosplays, actually. So yeah, I would love to do Bride of Chucky, though, with all the stitches and all that. I definitely want to go all out. Or are we getting technical? Am I cosplaying as Charles Lee Ray? Either way. Okay. So Mum, clean your room. It is clean. What are you talking about? Wyatt Ennis, what is your favorite Arkham game out of the 4? Arkham City, dude. 100% Arkham City. So my first introduction to the Arkham series was Arkham City. I played Arkham City first, went back and played Asylum. Asylum's great, but I'm like, oh man, like, it's chalk and cheese in terms of the scope. With Asylum, you're in the Asylum, and then City, you've got this massive landscape. Then Arkham Origins came along. I like Arkham Origins. I understand people have their gripes with it. There definitely is a shift in tone. and the feel because it was palmed off to Warner Brothers Montreal, and then Rocksteady, is it Rocksteady? Came back for Arkham Knight. I really do love Arkham Knight. So in order, I'd go Arkham City, Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Origins. And Arkham City, I'm actually playing again at the moment. I just go back and play it because I just want to. That's just how good of a game it is. And I think the storyline is brilliant. I love that you go to do one thing and then you got to go do several other things to get back to the original thing. So I would love another Arkham game, but if at the end of the day they're not going to, then at least we still have those games. And they're all great in their own right, man. But yeah, definitely Arkham City for me. John C just sends $4.99. Do you overhaul on Michael Myers masks? So not really, man. Like I did a couple after I did my custom collectible on him last year on the Tots Halloween Kills mask. I did a couple for a few people. I just feel there are so many overhaul artists out there that are brilliant and that have nailed the technique, especially Simon. You got Simon, Seven Sins, you got Remzap Studios. Pardon me. I'm so gassy. Pardon me again. I just feel there's so many brilliant overhaul artists out there, man, that you got your pick of the litter. Like they're amazing. And they each bring their own special kind. They have their own little secret sauce with everything they do, whether it be Kills, H40, or even other Michael Myers rehauls. I would love to get a Tots 78 mask rehauled. I've seen some beautiful rehauls of them, man. So yeah, I definitely reach, if you're jonesing for a rehaul, Simon Brandolino, Seven Sin Studios, Remzap, there's Horror Art Show. Oh man, there's a lot. But yeah, so not at the moment, not anymore. Like I do, hang on, case in point, at the moment, I'm offering eye plates, Michael Myers eye plates to put in your displays. Not creepy at all. I also do the handsets and I also do the eye patch of the blind eye. You put the eye patch on and then put your mask on. But yeah, thank you very much, man. Thank you for the support. Okay. Andre Romero, Freddy Krueger, or Michael Myers? Freddy Krueger. I'm gonna have to go Freddy Krueger, man. Like Freddy's my man. I'm always gonna have a soft spot for old Mickey Myers. But yeah, Freddy, 100%. Okay. Tot 78 is far too big. I have heard that too. It would probably purely be for display. Was the original Kirk mask big? I'm sure someone would know. I want to cosplay Polka Dot Man. Hell yeah. Yes. Okay. Andre, your Hellfire Club shirts are dope, man. Thank you so much, man. If you want one, AliExpress, these are good quality cotton as well, man, which is great. That one is disgusting. That's like a sports polyester and I feel like if I put that on, I'd get like a rash on my neck. That's just there for display. But like I wear this out and about. I was walking my dog the other day and I had my glasses on and I could see, like people couldn't see that I was looking at. I could see people be like, walking with someone, that's 8 months in Hellfire Club. I'm like, yeah, it is. So yeah, I love it. I just wear it out and about. I love it. Andre, hey Chris, how's it going? I'm going good, man. Bit bumpy to start with this stream, but we're going good so far. Do you like Godzilla and Kong? I do. I actually dug the recent Godzilla vs. Kong film. I have a soft spot for the Matthew Broderick Godzilla film. It's so stupid and wacky. And I think because it's pure nostalgia for me, because I was, a little bloke when it came out. Young Boy Sneakers, the first video I saw from you was the Walking Dead Negan Lucille bat. Good video. Thanks, man. That was really fun to do. Really fun. I was really happy with how the gore came out on that. I remember my friend Rui, as some of you guys might know him, Red Unit Inc. came over when I was doing the gore, and he had to actually step outside because he was starting to dry heave because I had bits of hair that was supposed to emulate Glenn's hair from when Negan clocked him on the head. And Rui's like, no, I'm out. I'm going to go wait outside till you're done. Okay, so let me actually just go back up, guys, to some more questions. I'm at the bottom at the moment. See what else we got here. Sorry, guys, I'm still getting my bearings with all this. ARFFT. There are not many YouTube subs. I look forward to seeing new content and that. But yours is one of its. But yours is one as it's stuff I do, and I was always interested in. Need to get back into doing more of my artwork. Well, thank you so much, man. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. I know I'm very sporadic with my uploads and all that. I'm just one of those people where if I feel like it's worthy of a video, I'll do it. I don't like to do filler videos for the sake of filler videos. So, at one point I was going to start another channel just purely for movie stuff, but then I realized from the get-go, even when I started the channel and had my first channel trailer, I've said, there's going to be cosplay stuff, collectible stuff, movie reviews, movie talk. So I've always, wanted to be known for that. So yeah, I really appreciate that, man. And I really hope these live shows take off because I'm having so much fun. Like an hour 42 has passed and it feels like it's been 5 minutes. When the initial stream was not working, that felt like a lifetime. That was stressful. So thank you, man. Jeremy Suarez, you're amazing. Thank you so much. And I hope I'm pronouncing your surname correctly, sir. Thank you very much, Jeremy. Chris Radiev, what's up, buddy? Dude, hello. Everybody, Chris is a good friend of mine. And he is an exceptional Captain America cosplayer and Michael Myers cosplayer. So I'm looking very forward to his Michael Myers cosplay this Halloween. Okay. What else we got here? I think I saw another super chat down the bottom. Is that correct? Did I miss that? Oh, Read Comics. I've been watching you since the Hulkbuster custom collectible. Do you want to see Mr. Freeze and the Court of Owls in the Batman sequels? Yes. I would love to see Mr. Freeze. I feel like Matt Reeves could really do Mr. Freeze justice, even though it's hard because you're blurring that line of reality, which it's very grounded in reality with the Batman. But how do you do Mr. Freeze like that? How do you have that tech existing in this type of in this world? Even though you have to kind of you kind of have to have that realism taken out of it in certain parts of the Batman. There are so many times he should have died, but he didn't. Oh man, I definitely would love to see Mr. Freeze. I would love to see how they do the suit, how they do his origin story, or whether they don't do an origin story and he's just already Mr. Freeze. I'd love to see how they handle everything with Nora, his wife. So yeah, man, Court of Owls. I know Pattinson is all for the Court of Owls, which is great. I love the fact that he's just a Batman nerd as well. Very refreshing to see instead of having an actor turn up to set and be like, I'm Batman, where's my paycheck? But he's like, no, I want Court of Owls. So yeah, I'd like to see Mr. Freeze more than Court of Owls. But if they do Court of Owls, and Matt Reeves would do it right. Like he'd really invest the time into getting Mr. Freeze and Court of Owls right. So yeah, definitely, man. Absolutely. Did you also see they're filming Joker 2 in December? They're going to commence filming Joker 2, which is interesting with Lady Gaga. Interesting with what's going on with the whole musical aspect. Don't know. But if you got Lady Gaga, that's going to be very cool. She's a phenomenal actor. Like phenomenal, man. And to see the two of them together will be really interesting. They go on like a killing spree or something. Who knows? You got to do more live shows. Bill H. Bill, that's the plan, man. If you guys are happy with this, I definitely want to do more live shows. I would love to do, a live show once a week. I obviously want to have a topic to talk about, much in the same template as what FlickPick does. I think he's just really hit the nail right on the head. Have a topic to talk about, get the conversation going, then also do a Q&A. And again, it's another way to interact with you guys. I feel like I would like to interact with you guys a lot more, and this is the perfect way to do it. So absolutely, man. Daniel Wiggins, ahoy, Chris, tuning in. Ahoy, Daniel. Kenneth, thank you so much, man. You love horror movies. Do you like haunt events like Halloween Horror Nights or Not Scary Farm or ever been? Do you do Australia horror events? So very interesting you say that, man. Halloween is so popular now in Australia, and it's so good to see. When I was a little kid and I'd go trick or treating in my neighborhood, most times out of 10, you get the doors slammed in your face, and the person would say, "We don't celebrate American tradition." I'm like, first off, it's Irish. No, I didn't say that. I didn't even know that back then. Apparently, it's an Irish tradition. But yeah, we'd get the door slammed in our face, and people would say, "We don't celebrate American tradition." I'm like, well, it's not just about that, but it's just like having fun. Kids dressing up. You dressed up as a kid, I'm pretty sure. So Halloween is bigger than ever at the moment in Australia. Like flocks of kids come out in the neighborhood and like at mum and dad's place, because mum and dad have a big front yard, we'll make a big event with it, and we'll have all our chickens out, and we'll have setups and speakers blaring Halloween music, and all the kids come past, they come in, get candy, pat the chickens. You see the parents out the front, and it's so funny. The kids come in, the parents are on the other side of the fence, and they've got like drinks like this, and I'm like, that's not amino acids in there. That's vodka for sure. They're having the time of their life. I've always wanted to do Halloween in the States. I'm actually going to be in Canada in October. I can't say why yet. I'm allowed to announce it in September, but I'm very excited. I'm actually going to be flying back from Canada whilst it's Halloween. So whilst it's Halloween, I'm going to be on a plane, which I'm very upset about. But at the same time, the opportunity that's happening in Canada is amazing. So mum and dad and Chloe are going to have to do Halloween without me. I was going to do Edward Scissorhands this year for Halloween in mum and dad's neighborhood. That's going to have to be next year. But yes, very excited about what to announce with Canada. That's going to be next month. So stay tuned for that. But you did mention Not Scary Farm. So is that at Knott's Berry Farm? I know what that is. I've always wanted to do like a Halloween haunt in the States, man. It just like, that's just my jam. I feel like I was an American in a past life because obviously I love horror and Halloween so much. But yeah, like Australia definitely gets in on it a lot more these days. So yeah, thank you, man. Thank you once again. Okay. Mr. Polka Dot 06, how's the Eddie cosplay coming along, Chris? Very excited. You should cosplay Steve. Oh, get that mullet out, man. Yeah, Eddie's coming along good, man. I'm waiting on a lot of badges to put on the vest, the wig, contact lenses, his chains, wallet chain. I got the retro Reebok high tops. They still make them, which is great. I'm actually just been wearing them out and about like with this. They're so comfy. So I actually have an update on the belt buckle. You can actually email the company that makes the belt buckles, and they'll just make one for you and send it to you. I actually need to reply to the email from the representative of the company. I got a shipping quote, like shipping for the buckles like $30, which is nothing. So I've just actually got to pay them for the buckle. But yeah, they can make you the handcuff belt buckle that Joseph Quinn wears as Eddie in the show. So they still make them, which is great. I thought they were discontinued and uber expensive, but no, you can still get them. And I think they're like $20 or $30, I think, brand new, which is great. So yeah, man, Eddie's coming along good. Just waiting on things to arrive. White Ennis, I sent you another super chat. I hope it went through. My card was having it. Oh, dude, hang on. Let me have a look. White. Oh, got it, man. I got it. Last one. Favorite side mission from the Arkham series. I actually liked, and I'm actually playing it now, when you're Catwoman. And oh god, what is it? You've got you get the briefcases. So at the moment, it's when you get the briefcases and you save Bruce, and then you're back to being Batman, and then you climb the tower. So I actually love playing. I prefer the game mechanics of Catwoman over Batman. It's cool that there's different mechanics and it's just not a copy and paste. I love how agile she is and how quick she is. Granted, like you're not as protected as you are in the bat suit. Like Batman's, big burly guy and is a bit slower. But any side mission with Catwoman, man. That's always fun for me. So thank you, man. I hope that's the super chat you were talking about. Thank you so much. What's up from El Paso? What's your next custom collectible gonna be? So my next custom collectible is probably going to be the Michael Myers coveralls, converting them into the Kills coveralls with the burns. At the beginning of the stream, I mentioned also that I have a facade of a vintage television, and I'm going to do a diorama inside the television utilizing the 7-inch TMNT 1990 NECA figures with Shredder, and try and emulate the end fight scene on the rooftop at the end of the 1990 film and have it as a wall hanger with lights and stuff like that. So that's going to be a massive custom collectible, like in terms of logistics, building, filming. So that's one that's coming up. I have a King Shazam McFarlane toy that I'm the Disease King Shazam McFarlane toy that I'd like to do when we get closer to Shazam, Fury of the Gods, or Black Adam. So that's what's coming at the moment, man. I don't plan a lot of custom collectibles in advance, except, with the exception of them. If I just see something up at the shops or something on a whim, and I'll just have that snap and be like, oh, I should probably custom collectible that or that. That's a good idea. So I'll just quickly grab it and then, plan to do that video next week, or just start on it straight away, man. Okay. Wyatt, also, yes, that was it. Hoping it went through. Yes, went through, man. Thank you so much again, dude. Okay. Hour 53. Holy shit. William Romero, just wondering, Chris, what's your favorite Joker? Heath, man. Heath, the man, the myth, the legend. I even though it's not a traditional Joker, I just think it was so different, and it was ballsy, man, with what he did, what him and Nolan did at the time. I just think it was great. I really would love to see Leto have a second chance with a good script, just a really good script. I think he did very well in the nightmare scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League. He wasn't cringe, or as cringe as he was in Suicide Squad. I would just like to see him get a second chance and have a fair shake and answer his critics. Whether or not that'll happen again, he's open to it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, man, my favorite Joker is definitely Ledger. Honorable mentions, obviously, to Nicholson, Hamill, Cesar Romero. They're all great, dude. Young Boy Sneakers. I met James Dew Courtney at Oklahoma City HorrorCon. Got a picture with him and a signature. He gave my money back because I gave him artwork of Michael Myers. He's a nice guy. Dude, that's awesome. Man, I would love to meet James Dew Courtney. He seems like such a cool guy. And he's just so committed to the role. I just think what he did, and just how he liaises with Nick Castle, and they get together, they share their ideas, and then James obviously wants to do justice to the shape. So that's so cool. You got to meet him, man. He seems like such a cool dude. I didn't realize he was in his 60s until I did the math and saw his the year he was born. It's crazy. The guy's got it. The guy is very physical. He keeps in shape. So I hope I look that good when I'm in my 60s. Collect to disconnect. It's Morbin time, Joker. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but the memes lately with Morbius have just been off the hook with Morbin time. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, man, I'm going through so much water. My voice is getting very hoarse. I have a super chat from Daniel C. Hang on, man. Let me just make sure that's all good. Daniel C. Thank you so much, dude. $9.99. Chris, I've watched your videos for years now and always look forward to them. Your talent and passion are truly inspiring, and your positivity is contagious. Much love, man. Dude, thank you so much. That's fucking amazing. I said earlier in the stream, I get very shy with stuff like this, but I really do appreciate it, man. It's been over 8 years since I started the channel, and holy hell, it's been a journey and a half. And I'm just getting started, and just to hear feedback like that, I'm getting very shy. I'm doing the shy thing. Man, I really do appreciate that, man. I love what I do. I love that I I hope that I educate people and inspire people because, I get that same feeling too. There are people that inspire me, educate me. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now without those people that have inspired me and educated me. And I never want to stop learning. I think it's such a beautiful thing where you just don't stop learning. It just, it keeps things interesting. And definitely keeping things interesting too with the channel and, coming up with new content. Case in point, hoping to make this a regular thing. So I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so, so much. That's fucking amazing, man. Thank you. Another super chat, crazy. Like this is all new to me, guys. Thank you. From inside the booth. Hello. Yes. It's been a while, man. Thanks. Love your stuff. Got to go. It's 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in upstate New York. Hope to see more in the future. Blessings to you. Blessings to you too, man. Thank you so much. And got a lovely care package from you a while ago. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, God, it must be late over there, guys. If you're staying up, thank you so, so much. It's 3:10 in the afternoon here. So we're coming up on 2 hours with this stream. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay. Let's go back through some other questions here. A Daredevil cosplay would be cool. Yeah, man, absolutely. Have you guys seen his new costume in She-Hulk? Is it She-Hulk? Yeah, She-Hulk. He's got the yellow and red suit, yellow and like burgundy suit. So that's cool. Like I totally forgot that existed in the comics. I got a super chat from Kenneth Campos, $2. Thank you, man. Scariest movie you saw as a kid or recently? Ooh. So my first introduction to horror, you'll have to thank my mum for this, being a very responsible parent. She rented Evil Dead 1 and the first Puppet Master, and I think I was 5. And I watched them, got halfway through them, and started crying my eyes out. So thanks for that, Mum. Scariest film I watched recently. Oh, man, I don't know about scary. That's a tough one. I still think the original Paranormal Activity is criminally underrated with its execution. That still scares me because I love the fact that you never see what's doing the damage. Again, like with Nope, Jordan Peele's Nope that I reviewed earlier, they don't give too much away, and I think that's more horrifying in and itself. But when I was a kid, yeah, Evil Dead and Puppet Master, even though you look back on those films and they're kind of funny in a way, especially Evil Dead. Yeah, I remember I was terrified to go to sleep. And then when I had my introduction to Freddy, I watched Freddy's Dead first. So I thought, oh, this is great. I still thought it was scary, but I'm like, oh, this is nothing. And then the last Elm Street I ever watched was the first one. And I thought, what the fuck is this? This guy's complete 180 from what I saw in Freddy's Dead. Mind you, with that being said, if Blumhouse do go ahead and obtain the rights to A Nightmare on Elm Street and they get Robert back or something happens, I want them to take it back to basics like with Prey. Make Freddy scary again. Make Freddy dark. Make Freddy like that again, but more malevolent, just nasty. Absolutely nasty. So yeah, man. Puppet Master and Evil Dead 1. Yep. Mom, you're ignoring me. I'm your mom. Will you be home for dinner? No, Chloe and I are getting pizza tonight, Mom. John C, have a great day, Chris. Cheers from Michigan, USA. Dude, thank you so much. Thanks, John. Thank you for joining in on the stream, man, and thank you for the support, man. Collect to disconnect. Thanks, Chris's mom. Chris Stanley, dead. Stop trying to use trendy words, Mom. Jeez. Tell you what. Daniel Wiggins impersonating his mother. A bit odd, Chris Stanley, but okay. Okay. Patrick Tui, my first was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I would have been 5 or 6. Dude, I watched the Joe Blow horror movie channel video on Killer Clowns today. Actually, you should go watch it if you haven't seen it already. It's like a mini documentary on it. I love that film. I only watched it for the first time in 2014. I really love the makeup designs of those clowns. They still hold up. Like they're so detailed. I think because that film was made by makeup artists, the directors are makeup artists. That was pretty cool. Daniel Wiggins, I am his mother. Yeah, that's actually my mum, guys. Hello from a fellow Aussie. Love your channel. Always good to be able to see local supplies you can pick up from Bunnings and such. Keep up the good work. Oh, thank you so much. Astokite Cosplay. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, look, obviously I do use a lot of stuff that's local. Most times I will try to use stuff that you can get overseas in the States, UK, Mexico, stuff like that. Pardon me. So gassy. Been that sushi I ate earlier. So yeah, it is handy with what you can use that it's available in, say, like a Home Depot or whatever the Home Depot and Bunnings equivalent is in the UK and stuff like that. So it is cool though. We are getting a lot more stuff from abroad over here, especially when it comes to paints, airbrush paints and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really fun. Let's see what else we got here. Like, hello, Chris's mum. Oh, jeez. That was my pitch. Greetings from another fellow Aussie. Hello there. Daniel Wiggins. If you are his mum, what's his YouTube name? Trust me, man, it's my mum. Guys, I think we might start to wrap things up. Like we've just hit 2 hours, and yeah, this turned out a lot better. I'm not gonna lie. After that first technical mishap, I was gonna close the laptop and take the dog for a walk and cry. But yeah, look, guys, I definitely want to make this a reoccurring thing. Ideally, once a week, that would be great. It would be great to check in with you guys, to shoot the shit, talk shop. If there's a topic to talk about, absolutely. But I definitely want to do more of these live streams. They are fun. They are brilliant. They're off the cuff. And I just feel like I'm more in my element when I'm just doing this, when I'm just me, where I don't have to hit record, sit down, talk, make sure I've hit all the notes that I want to talk about, and then go edit and be like, oh shit, I forgot to say X, Y, and Z. So yeah, this has been incredible. This worked out so well. Granted, there's a few bugs to work out, a few little things to work out here and there. But yeah, guys, this was just fucking brilliant. Just thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to everyone who are super chats and stuff like that. I've got to get used to all the technical jargon. I'm very prehistoric. So much so that I'm actually in the process of getting a new camera. So that should be a bit fun. I'm thinking of upgrading to a Canon R because the more I watch my footage now and I play it back on custom collectibles and stuff, I'm like, ooh, that's looking a bit grainy. That's starting to show its age. So yeah, at the moment, I'm looking into a Canon R. If anyone has one, please let me know your review of it. Would love to hear it. Kenneth Campos, dude, thank you for your support, man. More live streams, please. So glad to speak with you. Thank you, man. And yeah, thank you, everyone. 69mega.com. Fill life with emotions. Find love. My God, the bots are off the hook. Oh, God. Andre Romero, have a great rest of your day. Chris, you're amazing. Thank you, man. Guys, thank you so much. This is great. This has also been a big learning curve too. Jeez. Got off to a rocky start. A massive thank you to Frank and Darren of the Slaughtered Lamb podcast for helping out. Massive thank you to and shout out to John Flickinger, the Flick Pick. Hey there, guys. How are you? Welcome to a Flick Pick live show. It's going to get magical, mystical. Don't get scared now. And yeah, I kind of like that. Now for Batman, that was my Flick Pick impression. I only do impressions of people that I love and I really pay attention to. So massive shout out to the Flick Pick, for giving me the inspiration to do this. Also massive shout out to Jimmy Champagne and also massive shout out to Dave McRae. It's, been really insightful and inspiring. And again, honing back to the young man who asked about getting into freelancing full time, just getting inspired. I'm now inspired to do this, and a new chapter in the channel, which I hope will be live streams, and then just talking with you guys more. So yeah, I think let me just make sure I've got everything. We got it. I've got another super chat. DHDZ89. Namaste, Chris. Good job on the stream. Namaste. Thank you so much. We got there in the end. Frank and Darren, aka the goats. Hell yeah. Yeah. Frank and Darren. Fuck, those two are good. Those two are good value. Absolute good value. Hope to do more content with them. Chris, your mum's name is Chris. What is your dad's name? My dad's name is John. My mum's full name is Christine, but don't call her that because she'll kill you. My full name is Christopher. And yeah, dad's name is John. So, fun fact, I was originally supposed to be Jake or Jack, but because I was born at Christmas time, mum and dad called me Chris. Thank you. Thanks, mum. Okay. All right. Oh, geez. We've got Pickle Brick, who sends in 99 New Zealand dollars. Thank you so much, man. Pickle Brick. Pickle Rick. Yeah. All right, man. Thank you very much. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it there. That's it for today. Thank you so much. I hope everything came through okay. Again, few bugs to work out, all that stuff. But yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully I'm going to do a live stream next week. Look out for the video on this guy. That'll be up either tomorrow or Sunday here in Australia. So it's just the process of building the mannequin and chopping, changing, Frankensteining him. So yeah, that was really good. My mum, I love you. I love you too, mum. Testing Limits, thank you so much, man. And thank you for helping out. Jacob Jarrett, have a great day. Chris, all the way from Indiana. Oh, man, thank you. All right, sweet. I think that's it. We're all good to go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being patient during the stream. Wherever you are in the world, please have yourselves an absolute cracker of a day. I hope you're well. Hope you're happy. Be merry, be silly. And until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best. But seriously, guys, have a fucking incredible weekend. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. And I'll speak with you soon. Thank you again. End the stream. Yes, end the stream.